Good morning, everybody. Just thought I might make another quick video discussing a certain subject. Now, I think a lot of you have heard in the news, especially if you're a fan of hip hop like myself, that Dr. Dre, after 24 years of marriage to this woman named Nicole Young, is about to get divorced. But what makes the situation more interesting and in a way is cringeworthy is that he had not set up a prenuptial agreement with her. Now, I have all the respect in the world for Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre is arguably among the greatest and most influential hip hop artists and music artists, period, of this generation. From everything that he has done, started out with NWA to his solo career to finding some of the most notable hip hop artists of all time, such as Snoop Dogg, such as Eminem, and helping to find 50 Cent, among many others. Dre has built a great empire with his name. He has released a lot of classic albums, either that he has made by himself or with groups that he's done in the past or with artists that he's produced for. And he's always, to me, has been this smart businessman and entertainer music artist that has built a brand and a name for himself to be to the point where he is today, in which he is worth $800 million. And I thought that he's a prime example of someone that everyone should follow as far as how you want to live a successful life. I mean, he has said in one of his interviews a long time ago, I believe it's for a documentary called Rhyme and Reason back in the 90s and 97, discussing about hip hop. He said, this is what the record business is about. It's record and business. You got to take care of your record and you got to take care of your business. But obviously, in this situation, he hasn't taken care of his personal business with his wife, Nicole Young. And the fact that he's not signed a prenuptial agreement with her in the past, what's most likely going to happen, given what I've seen before, many situations, is that she's going to go ahead and see about taking half of everything that he's got to his name, half of all his money and assets, everything, because she doesn't love him anymore. They're supposedly getting divorced because of irreconcilable differences. So who knows what was going on behind closed doors? More of it is going to come out. But the one thing I would say about Dr. Dre is that he was not smart for not signing a prenuptial agreement with his wife, Nicole Young. Here's what I come to notice. In this day and age, marriage has turned into a big joke, okay? A lot of people get married, but most marriages are not that great. I found out that in today's day and age, this is something from the American Psychological Association website. It says that about 40 to 50% of married couples in the United States divorce. And a lot of people who are married aren't even in happy marriages. And one thing I come to realize a long time ago is that just because you're married and you have children together doesn't mean that you're happy and you have your shit together. And this, I think what's going to come out more so in this divorce is that there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be shown about what's going on behind closed doors between him and his wife. But this is what I got to say is that, guys, just because you fall in love with a woman and you want to marry her doesn't mean it's going to last, okay? Because a lot of women nowadays, left and right, are getting married to guys and have children with them, and then down the line, they're going to divorce you, and they're going to take half of your money and everything you got to your name, and if you have young children together, you're going to end up paying more money through child support, and then you're going to pay for alimony and spousal support. And so this is what I found out is that Dr. Dre's going to be paying spousal support to his soon-to-be ex-wife, Nicole Young. But we'll see how much it really goes down. And I just think about like this, is that, for someone like Dr. Dre, you would think that he would be smart to protect his money and his assets. But obviously he wasn't. And there are a lot of guys who are in positions like him that put themselves in the sort of situation in which they think they meet the woman of their dreams, the love of their life, and they get married to her, and then this happens. I mean, look at another great example. About a year ago or so, I believe, let me go and look this up, is that, a year ago, Mackenzie Bezos, Jeff Bezos' wife, Jeff Bezos being the founder and CEO of Amazon.com, and he's the richest man in the world, they divorced. And what happened during that divorce was that Mackenzie Bezos got $38 billion stake in Amazon. And she's also going to have 19.7 million shares of Amazon after the divorce. And at the time, Jeff Bezos was worth $150 billion plus dollars. But then after that, he lowered his stake, his worth after the divorce to $114.8 billion. And I just think if women and society in general nowadays want to understand, why are men getting married? It's not because we don't love women. It's because we do not want to end up in situations like this. And the thing is, I've even seen other examples with guys who get married and they go through divorce. I even talked with older guys who've gotten married and they've been divorced several times. And they told me about how they lost their businesses, they lost a lot of their money and their homes, and they told me this: don't ever get married. Now, I'm going to put it this way. I am not against marriage, but I will say this for all men. In this day and age, if you get married to a woman and you don't sign a prenuptial agreement, you are a fucking fool for doing so. Okay? Honestly. Now, whether Dr. Dre was really at fault or Nicole Young is at fault or whatever, regardless, in any situation like this, you need to protect your assets, your ass, in case something like this happens. Now, what are my stance on women getting money in divorce? I'm going to put it to you this way. If a woman is married to a man and she has helped to contribute to the growth of his wealth and his business, then she does deserve to get a cut of all the money that he has to his name if she's really helped him in his business, in gaining wealth. But if she was just a pretty face and a nice body that was just there in the background, and she hasn't done anything to help contribute to the man's business and his growth and wealth, I don't think she deserves anything. I'm going to be honest. And the thing is, my stance for me personally, if any woman wants to be with me as far as going out and being married, she has to bring something to the table. She has to help me out with paying for bills, paying for the food at restaurants or groceries. She's got to help to contribute financially if she's going to be with me. All right? I do not just want a beautiful woman who looks good when I have her arms around me. She's got to do more than just that for me. Especially in this day and age, when women say, "Oh, we want to be treated equal to men. We want the same opportunities as men. We want to make as much money as men." Well, if you want that, you also got to pay up and work hard and actually contribute the same way as men do. Okay? That's my approach when it comes to the women I go out with. You know, because here's the thing. There's a lot of women out there that will deliberately use men for their money, and they bring nothing to the table. And guys go along with it because they don't have the balls, the backbone to stand up for themselves and say, I'm not going to have you with me to use me up for my money as a piggy bank. You got to actually do something around here if you're going to be with me. I got to bring up this one other story again. Is that there was this one guy who I worked with over at my job at Red Lobster, and he was actually at the restaurant when it opened in the beginning. But then he moved to Arizona and stayed there for a few years. But then he came back to work over at the restaurant where I'm at now. And I told him, I was talking with him, and he was telling me that in Arizona he was really prospering and doing very well. But he said he was working 80 hours a week for this Instagram model hot girlfriend of his. And she wasn't doing anything with her life except looking good for the gram, for IG. And he was trying to go ahead and bring up with her that you got to help bring some money to the table and do something. And it got so bad that he said he had to get a lawyer to go ahead and get her away from him. Sorry. Excuse me, guys. Now, I thought to myself here in this store, I thought, what the fuck are you thinking? What's the matter with you? Why would you be used by a hot chick like her? Why would you do this to yourself? But that's the thing. That's the thing with a lot of guys nowadays. They're too much of a pussy to go ahead and to not let women walk over them like that. Now, am I saying that Nicole Young was using Dr. Dre like that? No. But I will say this, is that in any situation, regardless, guys, you need to go ahead and let women know that you're not going to use me. You're not going to go ahead and go after me for my money. Okay? If you're going to be with me, you got to be responsible for yourself financially and for your own happiness. Okay? My happiness is based on what I do. Your happiness is based on what you do. We work together and collaborate, but you're responsible ultimately for yourself. I'm responsible for myself. Unless we've actually worked together to build something, then I don't owe you anything if this relationship doesn't work out. That's what I'm going to tell any woman who I choose to get married to or have a long-term relationship with. And I don't care. I don't care if she's the most beautiful woman in the world or anything else. All right? If she's not comfortable with that, I'm not willing to take the risk. I'm better off being alone. And I will. It's just, it really just still gets me how men who are as powerful and as well known as Dr. Dre still put themselves in this sort of position. And it's just, when are guys ever going to learn? When are men ever going to learn that it's not worth the risk of getting married and not protecting your assets? When are guys ever going to learn nowadays that just because she's beautiful and she's hot doesn't mean that she has good intentions for her relationship with you? Okay? We'll see how this all plays out. Maybe I'll go ahead and I'll do another part 2 video on this if more details come out. about this whole situation, but I just thought I had to say this. Is that, guys, don't ever end up like this, okay? You know, just because you think you found the right one doesn't mean that she is, okay? And that ultimately, at the end of the day, you can't really trust anybody, all right? Even the woman that you are married to or you're in a relationship with. That's why you need to test women out over a long period of time before you choose to get married to them, before you go into that step in life. That's why for me, I'm not planning on getting married for a long time. If I do find the right type of woman that I'm considering getting married to, I'm going to give it years, like 5 years, before I decide to marry her and have kids with her. Because you got to put yourself in a situation in which you see a woman or anyone for who the real colors are. And then once you see that, if she still maintains those certain qualities and aspects of a woman that you're looking for in a relationship and goes above and beyond that, then she's worth keeping. But if not, you're better off just letting her go. And I'm not saying that I'm totally against divorce. I think divorce is good if it's for the right reasons. Now, see, my parents divorced, but it was for the right reasons because their relationship was not very good. There was constantly a lot of arguing and sometimes fighting with each other. Their relationship was very, 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 very dysfunctional. And growing up as a kid and seeing just the drama and all the dysfunction, the craziness, I just thought to myself, just in a way being traumatized by it at times as a little kid, watching your parents fight in the living room or argue with each other when you're going out for the weekend in the car. I decided for myself that I don't want this. I do not need to be in a relationship that's like this at all. If I'm with a woman who goes ahead and it's just bringing me all this unnecessary drama and craziness in my life, I don't need her. I'm just going to let her know, look, I don't need this shit. I don't want you and I don't need you in my life. And if all that you're going to bring me is just drama and craziness and stress, I'm better off being alone. So divorce is a good thing if it's for the right circumstances. But if a woman is divorcing you because she wants to go after your money and everything else, you better protect your ass. And you should have done that at the beginning with the prenup. All right? So, what else can I say about this whole situation? I think I pretty much said what I had to say. Like I have said before, what would I have to say about this whole situation? Oh, yeah. Just because you're with a woman doesn't mean that she's the one. She's the one. And just because you're with her doesn't mean she's the one for you. It just means that it's your turn. So Dr. Dre had his turn with this Nicole Young or whatever. Now another guy's going to have a turn with her potentially, but I don't know. After this whole situation goes down and she takes half of his money and everything else, I don't know if guys want to touch her because they don't want to put themselves in that risk too. I wouldn't want to put myself in that risk either. So, and hopefully, and I think, you know what, Dr. Dre is just going to have to learn the hard way that he should have signed a prenup to begin with. Because he was this close to becoming a billionaire. Now he's going to be this far away from becoming a billionaire. He better do something pretty soon in order to get his wealth back up. I mean, he's not going to be starving, of course. But I would be fucking damned if I was in his position, going through a divorce, and not signing a prenup. Enough said, guys. Tell me what you think about this whole situation, how you think it's going to play out, or if you are guys that have been married and been divorced and are going through something similar, say in the comments. Let me know what stories you've gone through. And if you like what I have to say, of course, click like, subscribe to the channel if you like what I have to say, and share it to someone whom I appreciate what I have to say. I'll be seeing y'all next time. I'm about to go to work within about, I would say about an hour or so. But I just thought I might make this video just to get it out of the way and say what my thoughts are. And guys, watch out for these ladies. Don't trust most of them, okay? Be careful with the women out there. Because if you don't, this might happen to you. What Dr. Dre's about to go through. Peace, and have a nice day.